murals again. And the next thing is, murals in school was cut off, and everyone wanted to be doing murals in school. And in exactly the same way, the next thing it is that parents began going to art exhibitions without having to wait what was then just going out of fashion for coats. And as well as that, they began to paint themselves. And in the same way as we have had here, isn't it just wonderful to see St. Agnes, string orchestra here, to hear them once a year. And all of the different levels now, people they come from. And people up there with the hay box and singing wonderful. And if you want to turn language into something that is equal, there are lessons that come out of it. First of all, it is how much can be done by seeing it in your mind, and by indeed, as Bernadette said, combining the decent instincts of the heart with its head. And for once the instruments are there, the achievement that it is, for example, for very young children, that for every child in St. Agnes Primary School, including the 60 early start children in those classes from the Boys National School, a total of 400 children receive weekly violin lessons, and instruments are provided and tuition are provided without charge to parents. Is there anything more democratic than that, than allowing music into the life of every child, and allowing every parent to hear children having had access to music? And it is totally music. It is then after that, it is art and so on. And then there's the self-worth that comes with it. And then there's the ability to listen to other people doing the same thing. And then there's the ability of parents talking to parents, saying, isn't this a great thing we're doing in our community? And then there's the community rightly being proud of being able to listen, if you like, to the Hallelujah chorus because we do it. There is no barrier between what is possible in communities when they work together cooperatively and collectively with the instincts that are saying that are there yet to be achieved. And all of the technology then doesn't be something that is directed at people sitting there passively. People will say when they hear a piece, they say, we did that, or we could do that. And that is what is the empowerment that is incredibly important. One of the things that for I came recently, Bernadette brought people up to sing in our salute. Somebody said, President, you haven't got anything to sing at the Christmas tree. And I said, we have neighbours that will come up and they did the job. I think that just to which I have tried to tell people I've spoken about on the radio, St. Agnes Primary School Violin and Orchestra Project started in September 2006, just over 5 years ago. Now, if anyone is feeling the slightest repressed about the meaning of the word transformation, just look what has happened in 5 years. And it is magical and it is wonderful. As well as that, given that there was, for example, one of the things that I do, which, and maybe some imaginative person will do it when you have all these empty showrooms around the place and the rest of it, and all these instruments that are lying in the attics that parents bought for children and that are lying there now. I often think the musical instrument itself has had human labour daily, and actually it's lying there. To give life to all of those instruments, if all those instruments all over the attics of the country could be brought down and put into an instrument bed and repaired and so on, there's something wonderful about thinking of the instrument and the child and the community all having life together. And maybe it will happen. It is just super. It's a lot easier than solving the banking crisis or anything like that. It might be more obvious than the other. I also about the teaching as well. Nothing that would have happened. Yes, inspiration and leadership is very important. But it also is the very finest version of pedagogy, of The teachers who give up their skills that are not necessarily the ones that they are demanded to give. They give it generously, and the results are there. And every one of the skills. In the decades to come. And that was illustrates when people would be putting on a very good show before. My wife was a member of Equity and the people would say, is she a professional worker? What is happening is that more and more people who have skills are placing themselves alongside people who are coming into the skills. And they're sharing skills in the same way as what's happening in different parts of the country I've been in about our traditional music people are sitting in more easily now in sessions than they did before. And in that way, the standard is rising everywhere. And that is a great act of generosity. I know as well that from the point of view of your own area, from the point of view of your celebration as a community, I pay tribute to the great big part that this is. And also I'm sure you bring it with you when you go on the outings that you do, the summer camps, and all of those things. I think as well, something that is very, very important in the performances that come. I mentioned that you had the opera to the Christmas tree in the auras. But there are other things that are important. There is playing for the parish on their summer one day, and for the CRUMLIN Mental Health Association, and for the Caritas Nursing Home, St. James's Hospital, the School for the Blind, and for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This is my buckle star, the final thing that I have to say. It is when we recognise the full meaning of Restore Kayla and Ireland. There are times when people sometimes lose courage, and we are in a time where we're coming out of a dark place, where many people are worried about unemployment or mortgages or insecurity. Or there's somebody that they would have liked to have home with them this Christmas who are away, and that the technology, although it is good, can't solve. Later on today, I'll be talking to the families of soldiers who are serving in the Lebanon. Now, I think it is important that we all think of such people, but also know the work of transformation is not only in institutions and in politics and in the way people do things administratively, all necessary. It is the transformation that takes place in our own thinking. The courage to close a chapter on that which doesn't work for us, and to say there is a new chapter opening up. And it isn't that we have only to envision it. We've heard it happen in CRUMLIN. We've heard it happen when people cooperate, when people take the finest things of the heart, and they say, we can do this. There is really nothing. There is no limit to the capacities that you have. Truly human and truly caring for each other, and above all else as well, intergenerational, expressing solidarity. So that I have to say that in the worst of years, last year, for example, around, no young person asked for anything for themselves from me. No older person asked for something for an older person. The older people said, we want a better kind of society. The younger people said, we want old people to be looked after properly. And all of this is possible. And I think that this is a wonderful celebratory occasion, and it has been a great honor and privilege to have asked to be with you. And may I wish all of us, and all of your different care, a very happy Christmas, and not only a good new year that will bring you the best of what you want for yourselves, but health and happiness for you and yours into the future. Garamila Mahatma stopped to cheer us of the care.
of us too. We are playing our violins and singing our songs. I hope you will enjoy it and sing along. We are wearing our uniforms red and grey. We will wonder what he might have to say. I hope he will give me his autograph, and it will be a great honor to get his photograph. He is cute with his glasses and white fluffy hair. I hope he will represent Ireland with his lovely hair. He lives in a big house in the Phoenix Park. For the next 7 years he will make his mark. As President Michael D. Higgins is leaving us today, we will give him a big
And our president is honouring literally every word in the poem. So he's reading has heard it. And now we have a very special presentation for Mrs. Higgins in absentia. So the President will receive from Maria Nunes a little bouquet for his wife. Now we have Bernard, who is going to present a little gift. And now, just in response to President Michael D's heartwarming, soulful address here today, I respond. We are greatly uplifted by your encouraging words today, but especially by your insightful support of the possibilities of this project, even in its infancy. It has been said that music is the mediator between the spiritual and the sensual life. That music